Obsidian was never good, never liked them, never respected them. New Vegas was crap. Lesbians don't exist. I've talked about all of this like over and over and over again in regards to the company. Like New Vegas has to be one of the most overrated games of the past decade, right? I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of people putting it on a pedestal. It is not that great of a game. Obsidian is and always has been a complete joke. They simply are, I think, the last studio to remain somewhat relevant, as every other studio was circling the drain by like 2007. When New Vegas came out, like people saw it as being better than Fallout 3 and celebrated it for that reason. But the simple fact of the matter is, the studio was never good. The games they produced were never good, and the tepid reception to stuff like The Outer Worlds and current projects. I believe they like produce Grounded. It it's a really good indication that this company is and has been falling off for a long time. And now that they're in the crosshairs for one of the most blatantly racist statements against white people, well, white men specifically, crusty white men, uh, now that they're in the crosshairs for making a blatantly racist statement against white men, I think it's safe to say that the days of them like being worshipped by the internet are over, right? Like they are done. And right now, the guy responsible for this is trying to backtrack on this. Like Obsidian is like probably trying to do damage control. Like I've heard someone come out and start talking about lawsuits. And to be honest with you, yeah, if you're straight up talking about discriminating against white people, white men, based on their race and sex, yes, that should be open to a discrimination lawsuit. It does need to be talked about that these kind of woke retards are fully comfortable coming out and saying that white men shouldn't be hired for anything, that white men are scum, that they're holding back game development. Like, yeah, how dare white men exist? Like, ooh. And it's not like me, like, reading in between the lines. This isn't a conspiracy theory. He came out and straight up said this. So when you take that into consideration, why exactly would I ever respect anything that Obsidian says or does? Why, as a white man, would I ever want to consume the product of a company that has employees that straight up hate me? Why exactly would I want to see them do well when they're doing this? And for me, this is actually why I stopped supporting Xbox. This is why I stopped subscribing to Game Pass, because I saw that people like this were running their mouths all the time. Like it's not, this is not an isolated incident, right? It's everywhere in the gaming industry. I'm sure, like, everyone in the West, like, kind of feels this way. Well, not everyone, but, like, plenty of people in the Western gaming sphere, like, feel this way because it's what they've been trained to do all their lives, to hate white people. And that used to get them places. That used to be the big thing that would get you promotions and get you attention, and have people praise you and give you attention. Like, oh, you're so cool. Like, you love minorities. Like, that used to work. But we're in a different era now where we've learned that this kind of bigotry will not be tolerated, right? We've learned that this kind of behavior is indeed racist. I keep seeing people like try and say that, like, oh, we need to come up with our own term for discrimination against white people. But no, I think racism is an adequate enough term, right? Again, the cope from these kind of people, this is true, by the way. The cope has always been that you cannot be racist against white people. You cannot be sexist against men. Like, which in and of itself is a racist and sexist belief, right? But these people are so hypocritical and so like brain dead, like the thought never really even crosses their minds that what they're doing is incredibly unhinged and hateful. And when you take that into consideration, well, now that people are starting to notice this kind of thing and put it all together, you are seeing more and more people push back against it. There is just nothing that the established woke gaming industry can do to stop what's coming. Like, nobody likes them. Nobody likes what they're putting out. Nobody likes what they're saying in interviews online, how they're treating their consumers, like the copes they make about the decisions they make, particularly in regard to like the uglification of female characters, right? People are complaining about like the declining quality in their products, and this is why. Because you are such a hateful, despicable person, you cannot produce high quality products that people actually want to enjoy.